everyone. This is Lynna, and you're watching Lynna's Life. It's not an easy life. Not even close. It's hard, and it's like you have to fight for everything. I have to fight for every inch. It's tough. And when you think you've gotten over the hump, you've got more mountains to climb. I'm not saying this to be negative or anything, honestly. I'm just saying that it's really hard. And not really nice, but a long conversation with my mother. I've posted about it, but the reality is that she will forever have, a problem with me. And refuses to really see anything else. It's not like we haven't talked about this before, people. It's not like this isn't something that we've already been discussing for a while now. But when it hits you, like reality hits you, and you're like, oh boy, I may never see my mom ever. She said, I love you, son. It's like, the problem is that I'm not your son, and that I never was. And she's like, oh, don't hurt my heart any more than it already is. I go, I'm not trying to hurt your heart, Mom. I'm just telling you the God honest truth. And the truth is that you never had a real son. So we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And oh my gosh, I am so tired. So tired of hearing the argument, of telling me, I don't see where it's anywhere in the Bible, but what you're doing to your family is the worst thing. And if you would have only gone back and blah, 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 blah. And it just like, it gets lost in the noise, because we've been around this block how many times? And how many more times do we have to go around it before you just get fed up and sick of it? I mean, they think that you can snap out of this stuff, and it's like, it's not a snap-outable thing. It's not like some kind of clothing that you put on for the day and then you decide to take it off. It's not like that. That's where, people think, when you're cross-dressing and stuff, that, oh, it's definitely something that you can, avoid. Just don't dress. Just don't put on the clothes. But what they don't realize is that you put on the clothes not because that's the end all. Putting on the clothes for me was like the doorway to seeing myself physically resemble how I've always felt I was on the inside. So putting on clothes wasn't just like, some kind of, afternoon treat. It was jumping into my reality, you know? So I don't get it. And I'm fed up. I have like this battle on both sides, you know? I mean, on one side, not like there's like two sides to the battle, but I'm talking about like there's two fronts to this battle. I have a situation down in Tennessee where I know I'm going to be harassed and harangued and bothered by my ex's lawyer. And also just the disdain that I get from my ex saying that this is why we're in court, is to fight for me not to be able to have the right to see my children. She literally has reiterated that she, excuse me, that she only wants me to be in the lives of the children in the most minimal manner as possible. So I've got that to look forward to, right? And then I've got the dealings with my sister, who has not spoken to me since May of this year, and my mother, who, although loves to talk to me, always has to voice her opinion on the matter. And to make matters even worse, she says, you may call yourself whatever, you may become whatever, but you will always be my little boy. You will always be my son. And it's like, why don't you stick the dagger in a little further? I know that she misses who she thought she had, but can we just move forward? I'm really not a bad person. The person that I am now is way better than the person I used to be. I don't get it. I don't understand. Makes no sense to me. She's like, do you realize the hurt that you've caused me? The pain that I've gone through? Realizing that do you want to tell me that I never had a boy? I'm like, do you realize the pain that all of you have caused me? Do you realize the hurt that I've had to endure because of your non-compassionate stance towards transgenderism? That you guys somehow think that this is some kind of a decision that comes about when people just want to, hey, I feel like changing genders today. I wonder if I can just go ahead and do that. No, that's not how it's truly like. It's much more intense. It's much more mental. It's much more spiritual. It's our reality. It's what we are. We're not men that wanted to be women. We're women that were born physically as men. And until we correct that, we live in this upside down world of fear, so many things. We feel misunderstood almost all the time. We can't just relate to the gender that was supposed to be given to us as ours physically. Some of us inflict bodily harm on ourselves because we can't stand ourselves. Thankfully, I have never done that. But when I tell my mom that had I not transitioned last year on November 12th, 2013, that I would not be here today, she snickers and laughs on the phone and says, oh yeah, you would. Oh, come on, honey. You're fine. You would have been fine. It's like they don't truly understand. They don't get it. And she refuses to see me physically. And if she did, maybe she would understand a little bit. Maybe. Because I'm a woman. Plain and simple. There's no doubt about it. My body has cooperated way too much with my brain. And I have changed way too much in 1 year to not be this woman that you see on the screen. So I just told her, I said, you don't even know me. I left your home as a young 20-something, and you didn't know me then, and you don't know me now. They throw it back in your face like, oh, but you could have said something. Why didn't you say something? Why did you choose to have a family? Why? And they don't realize that we who have had our families and have chosen to walk the path of manhood, even though it was never something that we could handle, we did these things in order to alleviate the reality of who we were and to maybe say, down the road, this can just go away. This can just be buried. This can just be put in a box and stuffed away. But it couldn't. And it won't. It won't. It'll never go away. I don't care if you have the faith to move mountains. Your reality is your reality, is who you are, is who you are. God's not going to change you from being you. It would go against his nature. So we live. Some of us live without loved ones who were in our lives before, yet we live and we move on. And if they want to catch up, it's entirely up to them. And if they don't, you just leave them in the dust. You clean up your feet, kick the dust off of them, and you move forward. And you move into the arms of people who love you, for the person that God made you to be. If you find yourself being stuffed in a box that people say, family say, friends say is designed for you, and you know very well that you don't fit in there, or that it's too big, or that it just doesn't feel right, please get out. Live in freedom. Don't give up. Don't give in. Walk forward and proudly, being the person that you know yourself to be. And don't apologize to anyone. Mom, dad, wife, husband, kids, family, friends, no one. This is your journey. This is your reality. Only you know who you are. And if you're having trouble finding out who you are, and gender identity is taking a hard time, or it's making it a hard time to process it all, and confusion is entering, please, please, please do me the favor. I beg of you, please go to a professional, talk to a gender therapist or a counselor. Get to the bottom of this. Don't let it simmer in your life. Deal with it. Love you guys. See you later.